In this video, we're going to be talking about clause 9, which talks about performance evaluation. And this video is part of a mini-series that I'm doing on ISO 9001, where I'm talking about the actual standard and reading from the standard to interpret the requirements of the standard with you. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can be updated about future videos that are of interest to you. And I would greatly appreciate that if you like the contents of this video, if you could hit the like button, that would greatly help us to increase the reach of these videos. So without much further ado, let's start with clause 9, and specifically clause 9.1, which talks about monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation. And the standard says that the organization shall determine what needs to be monitored and measured, what methods for monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation needed to ensure valid results, when the monitoring and measuring shall be performed, when the results from monitoring and measuring shall be analyzed and evaluated. And effectively here we are considering two main things. First of all, we have the quality objectives, which have already been discussed in clause 6.2, and that is definitely one of the main places where we are going to monitor the performance evaluation. But then we have other metrics, for example, metrics relating to processes, metrics relating to quality. So any other KPIs that are relevant to your organization, we need to define those, and we need to make sure that we have an agreed way in which such performance evaluation will be monitored. And the standard says that the organization shall evaluate the performance and effectiveness of the quality management system, and that it shall be retained as documented information. The performance of the quality management system, in my opinion, should be monitored through the quality objectives, and that has been already discussed in clause 6, as I have mentioned. Therefore, no particular action is needed to meet the requirements of clause 9.1.1. Moving on to clause 9.1.2, we have that have to gather customer satisfaction, and the organization shall monitor customers' perceptions of the degree to which their needs and expectations have been fulfilled. This is a very interesting statement which talks about the perception. Okay, so the perception can be or cannot be accurate, but that's what we have to understand. Do clients feel like they were treated fairly by our organization? Do they think that we've managed to successfully meet their needs? The standard goes on to say that the organization shall determine the needs for determine the methods for obtaining, monitoring, and reviewing this information. There are different ways in which we can get customer feedback. For example, customer surveys, customer feedback on delivered products and services, meeting with customers, one-to-one meetings, focus groups. We can have market share analysis, compliments, warranty claims and dealers reports. We can have feedback on our social media. We can analyze the amount of clients generating repeat business. We can analyze the number of referrals. Okay, so there are different ways in which we can check whether clients are happy with our service. And analysis and evaluation talks about some of the elements that we have to evaluate. For example, conformity to products and services, the degree of customer satisfaction, the performance and effectiveness of the QMS, quality management system. If planning has been implemented effectively, the effectiveness of actions taken to address risks and opportunities, performance of external providers, and the need for improvements to the quality management system. All of these topics have been mentioned in other clauses in the standard. And once again, I have absolutely no idea why ISO seems to want to repeat itself over and over again to confuse people. Okay, so basically there is nothing else that you need to do to meet the requirements of clause 9.1.3 if you are meeting the requirements of other clauses. I'm not going to go into the detail of internal audits, but here the standard is asking us to do an internal audit, and if you notice, it says that the organization shall conduct internal audits at planned intervals. It doesn't say that it has to be done every year, doesn't say that it has to be done every month, or it doesn't say that it has to be done every 5 years. we have to take a risk-based approach when determining the frequency of the planned intervals that are relevant to your organization. Okay? And as explained, I'm not going to a lot of detail when it comes to internal auditing. There's a specific video on internal audit and blogs on my website and social media channels. The same thing goes for management review, where the standard in clause 9.3.1 is telling us that once again we have to determine planned intervals at which we're going to review the quality management system to make sure that it's still relevant with the strategic direction of the organization. And in clause 9.3.2, effectively we have the agenda for a management review meeting. Now, this doesn't have to be a meeting where we discuss all of these topics. We just have to make sure that all of these topics are discussed at planned intervals. How I like to do it with my clients is that we sit down and we talk about all of these topics in one sitting, given that we would have the information all available in our hands and that we can simply discuss the data and take decisions on how to improve the quality management system. Granted, for larger organizations employing possibly hundreds or even thousands of people, doing the management review in one sitting might not be extremely feasible. However, I tend to work with smaller companies, and that is how I do it with all of my clients. Finally, we have the outputs of the management review, where effectively we need three things. We need to identify any opportunities for improvement, okay, because that's the whole aim of having a management system in the first place. And then to have a management review meeting where you are reviewing the performance of your management system. It isn't to cry over spilt milk. It isn't to feel like you are on top of the world and that you're achieving all of your goals. But the main aim is to find further ways in which you can improve your organization and quality management system. Another output of the management review is to identify any needs for changes to the quality management system and any resources that are needed to implement the actions that would have been discussed within the management review. Here we are saying once again that the organization shall retain documented information as evidence of the results of management reviews, meaning that all communications, all conversations that spare from talking about any of the inputs that we have discussed in clause 9.3.2, we need to have evidence. We need to have some type of information at hand so that the auditor will be able to have proof, evidence that such management review meeting was done. That is all I had for you for this video about clause 9, performance evaluation. If you haven't not yet done so, please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button if you like the content of this video. In the meantime, I encourage you to keep on following this course, which has very valuable content. However, if you have any questions relating to ISO 9001 or any ISO standard, please feel free to get in touch. I would love to help you succeed. Thank you so much.